Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Being Wise. In this series, I discuss transformative ideas gathered from the books that I've read or from anywhere else on the internet. Before I start today's idea, I would like to request you to hit the subscribe button. On this channel, I would release at least 2 videos every week about crucial ideas gathered from books and my personal experience that would help us become better. I also make videos on films, which is my other major interest area. Do check out the link above for my series on around the world in films. So let's get into today's idea. The idea for today is 99% is hard, 100% is easy. It is also called as the 100% rule. Now this is a very powerful idea, but surprisingly it is not talked about as much as it deserves to be. Now think about a time when you took up a personal project that was something that was very important to you and yet you failed to keep up with it. This could be about losing weight or not adding sugar in your diet or letting go of a destructive habit or improving your creative output like writing a book or even starting a YouTube channel. I have failed far too many times with my projects, not completing my book, not waking up early enough or not working out regularly. So why do we keep failing at the projects that are most important to us? Is it the lack of motivation or the lack of willpower or just a simple lack of personal discipline? We fail because it was too hard, especially in those projects which are important to us. We committed 80%, 90% or even 99% thinking that committing 100% would be too hard, and by committing only 80% or 90% we made it very hard for ourselves to keep up with it and hence plotting our own failure. It might sound illogical and counterintuitive, but hear me out. When we make that 90% or the 99% commitment, we are giving a lot of room for ambiguity, self-negotiation and mood-based decisions. Take an instance where you decide that you do not want to take sugar in your diet, but you don't have a 100% target, you don't have a 100% commitment, you're not very strict about it. So on a Friday evening when your friend offers ice cream, now you're not sure about whether you should have the ice cream or not have the ice cream. You have to make a decision. Does it fall under the 90% where you don't take the sugar, or does it fall under the 10% category where you can have some sugar? So what happens over time is that you will end up eating the ice cream more often than not, which will make you feel guilty, and you will also undergo a lot of stress because every time a sugary food situation comes up, you have to make a decision whether to have it or not have it. Now this is a double whammy. You end up eating more sugar than you intended, and also you undergo a lot of mental stress because you keep making decisions on every sugary food situation. Instead, if you had committed 100% to not having sugary foods, it would have meant much lesser decision making and you would have made it much easier for you to adhere to that. And that is why we say 99% is difficult, 100% is easy. Let us take some more examples. I have a close friend back from undergrad days. 2 years into his corporate job, he felt that his sedentary lifestyle was making him unhealthy. He wanted to take up a physical activity. So he took up running and he started running 5 kilometers every day. And he kept running 5 kilometers for weeks and months every single day. Even when he had to travel to another city or even another country, he always carried his running shoes and made sure that he did not miss his everyday 5 kilometer run. Whatever was happening in his life, he ran 5 kilometers every single day. And this year, he completed 1,000 continuous days of running 5 kilometers every day. Now, what made it possible for him to accomplish this? When most of us can't even do something like that for 2 days in a row. It was the 100% target and commitment that enabled him to accomplish this. He could have easily convinced himself that he's going to another city, so he need not run today, and could have satisfied himself with a 90% or 99% commitment. But he did not do that. If he had done that, well, my hypothesis is that he would not have achieved what he has done and he would have given up the habit in the first few weeks. Another example is me starting this YouTube channel. This is something I want to do for a long time. A few weeks ago, I finally posted my first video, and of course it did not get a big response. And when I started making the second video, I kept wondering if this is what I must do. It takes too much time, it's a lot of hard work, and does it even matter? And I did not enjoy making my second video. I was in the below 100% zone. A couple of days later, I took some inspiration from another YouTuber and decided that I would make 35 videos before I decide whether to continue with this or not. And since then, I've been enjoying it. This is my 9th video and I'm having lots of fun because I've committed 100% to making 35 videos. And we see many more examples all around us. These days, no-fap videos have become a trend on YouTube. And by watching them, what I understand is that many of them were able to stick to their commitment because they made a 100% target in commitment. If they had made a 99% or a 90% or an 80% target, it would have led to a slippery slope situation and they would have not been able to keep up their target. Now, this 100% rule is not just applicable to individuals, it is also applicable in the context of organizations. In fact, I was first exposed to a version of this 100% rule in a business strategy class on social responsibility back in B school. In that day's class, we were listening to a 2013 TED Talk of IKEA's then Chief Sustainability Officer, Steve Howard. Back then, it was a time when the LEDs were emerging and it was proved that the LEDs were 85% more energy efficient than the halogens and the CFLs and also had more working life. Now IKEA, like any other player in the same business, had a lot of goods with halogens and the CFLs. Now if they wanted to, they could have continued to sell these halogens and CFLs and sell the LEDs on the side marked up at a higher price. But they did not do that. They themselves decided to ban all the halogens and CFLs in the next 2 years and decided to go 100% all in on LEDs. Now this decision was not made on just environmental logic. It also has business logic. By going 100% into LEDs, they can stop investing in the old stuff and they can put more investment in the new LED stuff. And thereby they can improve the economy of the LED products and hence reduce the cost and make it affordable for the customers, which will then attract more customers to IKEA. That is why going 100% on LEDs made business logic. So the 100% rule is also effective in an organizational context and may also help in solving some of the biggest problems that humanity faces today. We haven't been as successful in tackling climate change. It may be because we haven't followed the 100% rule. So why is 100% easier than 90%? What is the psychology behind this? One of them is decision fatigue. In 80% or even 99%, you have to evaluate every relevant situation and decide what you're going to do and which way you're going to act. Over time, this becomes really difficult and leads to decision fatigue, which will then lead to loss of willpower and you sidetracking from your principle. So 80% or the 99% is very difficult to keep up with. But when you make a 100% commitment, you don't have to make any decisions at all. The decision has already been made for every future relevant situation. I'm going to take some intellectual freedom and extend the argument to include another concept that I know of and I think is relevant here. I think one of the reasons the 100% works so perfectly is because it's heuristically simple and our mind loves simple things. I'm not sure if you know about the concept of System 1 and System 2 thinking, which forms the basis of Daniel Kahneman's thinking fast and slow. To put it briefly, System 1 is the lazy mind, it's very intuitive and it's the primal mind. System 2 is the more elaborate, deliberative and the rational mind. To make intuitive decisions and work on autopilot mode, you use System 1, and to evaluate complex decisions, you use System 2. We would love to use more of System 1 thinking than System 2 thinking because System 1 is simple and easy and consumes less energy. So one of the reasons why I think the 100% rule is effective from at least a behavioral science point of view is because it makes decision making simple, and hence it comes under the category of system 1 thinking, which is what we would love to use because it consumes less energy and it's easy to do. Now if you had committed only 80% or 90%, we would have had to evaluate every single situation, which would require system 2 thinking, which requires a lot of effort, and we are more prone to errors and fatigue when we use system 2. So this is just my extrapolation of the argument to look at the 100% rule from a behavioral science point of view through the concepts of system 1 thinking and system 2 thinking. Do let me know your thoughts on this. Now that we've seen why 100% is more easier than 99%, what are the strategies you could use to apply 100% in your lives? First thing is that you have to prioritize. You cannot take that 100% commitment in everything in your life. At most, you could only pick 1 or 2 things to which you can give 100%. To my friend, it was running 5 kilometers every day. That was 100% job that you would do every day. Pick something that is very important to you, and you started this before, but you failed to keep up with it because you did not commit or give yourself a target of 100%. Now you could apply the 100% rule in 2 ways. One is the negative way, and by that I mean you apply the 100% rule to remove certain aspects of your life. Say example, to remove some destructive habits from your life. So the no fat, no meat or no sugar in your diet would fall under this category. You will have to commit 100% that you will not do any of these. Now another way to apply the 100% rule is to add something to your life. This could look like vlogging every single day, or writing 300 words every single day, or like my friend, running 5 kilometers every single day. So this is the positive way of using the 100% rule, by which you add things to your life. So do apply the 100% rule to at least one important aspect of your life, and let's see how it goes. So that was the idea for today. I hope you gained something from it. If you did, please hit the like button. Also, do leave your thoughts on the topic in the comment section below. The 100% rule is not from any specific book. Like I said, I came across this in a TED talk on sustainability, and after that I found a couple of blogs on the 100% rule which were really helpful in understanding what goes behind psychologically. I'm going to give links to all these blogs and the TED talk in the description box below. So next time I'll meet you with another idea. Until then, goodbye.